Hello, Taurus, and welcome to Soul Guidance with Adriana. I help you choose growth and the healing of your inner roots. And today I've got an intuitive message for you for your journey this week. Let's see what we've got. Mother of Roots is the energy of you starting this week. Interesting. This is a very, very much Taurus in their element, in your element, your element kind of energy. Grounded, nurturing, looking at the possibilities, looking at the potentials, but being very, very deliberate with how your energy is caring for yourself and caring for others. So this card, it's a little tricky because it's like small picture and big picture at the same time. But what it tells me is that you're feeling very comfortable in your own skin, in that grounded energy. And if you feel yourself being pulled off, remind yourself that in that grounded, centered energy, you're going to be able to see possibilities, receive new possibilities, and for some of you, give birth to new possibilities. But it has to do with really staying in yourself, in your element. Right. Working for you, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. This is an excellent combination. I want to just see the other side. Okay, 10 of Wands, burdens. So there's a bit of symmetry going on here, Taurus. We've got 10 Wheel of Fortune and 10 of Wands, burdens. So it's kind of like, which 10 are you going to choose? And you remember how I was just talking about the new possibilities that you're going to see? That is the energy of the number 1, the new start, new beginning. You've got the energy of the number 1 on either side of you. It's 10, 1 plus 0 condenses to 1. All right, so we've got to be, we've got to be very careful about where the energy is focused for you this week. All right, if you can stay in that centered place, in that very Taurus energy where you're responsible for yourself, you're taking care of yourself, you're nurturing yourself, then it is going to be very easy for the universe to work with that energy. It's going to turn, it's going to send you possibilities, it's going to help you culminate phases that are done and invite new phases more easily. It all hinges on you though, staying grounded. Now what we don't want to do, Taurus, is bite off more than what you can chew. All right, taking responsibility for others when it's not your business, taking responsibility for more things at work than, again, what's your business. This is knowing where your responsibility starts and where it ends. I'm not wanting to get into like boundaries, like a 4 type of energy, but it's more about knowing the limits of your scope, okay? The things that I am responsible for are my vibration, my vibration, okay? What I'm putting out into the world, how I'm feeling at the moment, and what I can do within myself to either change or not affect the energy in front of me, okay? So what I mean by that, Taurus, is there's really very little we can control in the outside world. We can only control our reactions to it and then what we put back out into the world, okay? And what I'm feeling like is you're going to be pulled to want to fix something or to want to take charge of something which really isn't your job, okay? If it's in the control of someone else, and it's really their responsibility, you're going to have to step back. These Wheel of Fortune is represented by a spider, and it's a very careful kind of designation because a spider web is beautiful when it's laid out, right? And everything is separate. But if you actually touch it or you get entangled in it, you find those threads are very sticky and all of a sudden things can become a big mess, right? That's how it works when the spider catches a bug, then all of a sudden this beautiful order that you saw, this beautiful webbing is suddenly this cluster, you know what I'm trying to say. All right. So Taurus, when you get off of your center, when you get out of your grounding, you start to kind of mess up not only the thing you're trying to help, but your own future. Okay, because then the universe is kind of like, wait a second, what am I responding to here? I thought that there was a pure grounded energy that was open for me to give more possibilities, but now there's this confusion because the Taurus is pushing one thing and the other person is pushing another. Universe is kind of like, it's mixed signals. Okay, let me get a little bit more. Six of Swords, passage, and then the Five of Cups, loss. All right. Taurus, I try very hard to keep my own energy out of these readings, even though I am a Taurus as well. But these two cards are they're really speaking to me personally, but let me tap into you right now. Okay, so a lot of that grabbing of fixing or trying to take responsibility outside your realm of influence is in response to a loss, either from the immediate past or a deeper loss, okay? And while for the most part you're doing very well with this loss, there's still the little trigger. How do I explain this? Okay, all right, well, I didn't want to go here, but my guides are saying to just go ahead. I had a very significant loss over this last weekend, or I should say a significant change. A very significant relationship has gone out of my life. It was time to keep moving. And, it wasn't traumatic. It was shocking, but it wasn't unforeseen. However, I can understand that because that part of life seemingly was out of my control, letting it go was out of my control because it really had to do with, not just myself, but what the other person was wanting as well. Then because there was a loss, there's a part that wants to grab at more. It wants to grab at more. There's still a bit of a trauma response going on that has affected the ability to trust, the ability to stay grounded, the ability to stay calm. Okay, there's still been a little shock to the system, and I guess I'm realizing it now doing this reading for you, that there's been a deeper effect than what I realized. Okay, but the message is to come back to this mother of roots, which is completely self-contained, completely thriving, completely nurtured within the self. And so what this means to me is if you do feel yourself being triggered by old habits or triggered to take responsibility for things that are not yours, what this means is that it's part of you, part of us, part of me, asking for a little bit more nourishment, asking for a little bit more nurture. It's kind of like if I had a pack of children, if I were looking over a pack of children and there's so many of them, I might just kind of gloss over and look at the whole group and say, well, everyone seems to be fine. But I might be missing that quiet little kid at the back who's got a sad expression on their face and who just needs a little bit of a hug, needs a little bit of encouragement. So this is not big things. It's just subtle little things. When you find yourself grasping at things that aren't yours, that's your clue and that's your cue that there's something in you that needs to be hugged. There's something in you that needs a little more love, a little more nurturing, and just like, okay, it's all right. It's going to be fine. We're going to be all right. I'm right here with you. That kind of thing. Oh, well, Taurus, thank you for sharing that journey with me. I really, two things. Grateful for you for sharing your time and energy so that that little bit of information could come through for me, but also just grateful for your time and energy in general, because without you, these readings don't mean anything. And with that being said, if you're looking for a little beyond what these weekly readings can offer, I do offer personal intuitive readings as well as guidance packages. So if it's that time, please check out soulguidancewithadriana.com and reserve your personal session today. I'll look forward to seeing you next week.